What's poppin', Popcorn Perspective viewers? Today we're gonna go over Only Murders in the Building Season 4, aka Episode 2. What did you think?
Oh yes, finally. So episode one was just introducing the murder itself. But episode two, we get introduced to a lot of suspects, and God, the suspense and the mystery is so good in this show. I don't know how they keep nailing it season by season, and I think season two might be my favorite
Right.
so far of the season.
Agreed. Season 3 wasn't my favorite. I thought it took a while to actually get to the point. I really liked Paul Rudd's character,
Yeah, I
but
think it
season
dragged a little
4,
bit in the middle, but
yeah,
the ending was great.
yes. Season 4 thus far has been banger after banger. The
Yeah,
first episode was really good, and the second, in my opinion, with the emotion and the gravity of it, I think it might actually be my favorite episode of
that's
the
what.
entire
Yeah.
series.
Oh, of the entire series. Hmm.
Yes.
I don't know. I'll have to rewatch the show because I can't think of what my favorite episode would be. But this was a really good episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and just based on what we've seen, two episodes in, who is the number one suspect, or who do you think is the killer of Saz?
Okay, cool. So after this, it's spoilers.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
you would have had to watch episode 1 and 2. So this is basically our theory crafting of it and what we think. We're gonna podcast of podcasters playing characters in a TV
TV
show.
show about a podcast.
I know who I am. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. What?
Okay, so to understand who the suspect is, I think I want to go back to who is the actual intended person to die.
Okay.
Do you actually think it's Charles Hayden Savage, or do you
No,
think it was actually Saz?
I
I
think it was Saz.
agree. I agree. Same here.
So that's actually, yeah, I have on the list here of things I was writing down, jotting down while watching the episodes, and that's like my second theory that popped up is was the hunter after her or after Charles? And that's something we still don't know because all episode they kind of hounded in. It was you, Charles. It looked for you, Charles, and I think that's a red herring. I
Why do you think
Mhm.
it's her? Why do you
Well, I
think
mean,
it's
we know
Saz?
she's investigating something. We seen her apartment in episode one. She has a bunch of notes and scraps and things about Charles and other different things. She knew about the Dunlop apartment. She knew about Oh Hell or even the numbers to get into the Dunlop apartment 773440. So she knows a lot of things that's going on the west side of the apartment complex. The Aconian, Accordion, whatever the apartment complex is called.
Arcadia.
Arcadia, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, you're right. Yeah, Arcadia. So she knows a lot, which makes me think she is a suspect. Now, Charles could also be a potential victim or suspect. Not suspect. I apologize, but target later. But right now, I think they did kill the target, intended target.
Okay, so playing devil's advocate,
Hmm.
when Jen, his ex, and Saz's, well, ex
X.
now, um, she says that Saz was investigating something to do with Charles. So you don't think that she was maybe just investigating Charles's potential murder?
Well, that's what I was saying. It's regardless on if Charles is a potential target. I think Saz
Mhm.
was the target to begin with because
Okay.
Saz was investigating it. It was getting too close to the matter, so they want to take her out in order to get closer to Charles, or it could be something totally we might be mislooking at, and Charles has nothing to do with this, and I'm unsure.
Yeah.
It,
Okay, so let's just go based on that. So, say
Mhm.
the suspect is Saz in this instance, and the bigger suspect or bigger intended target would be Charles. Who do you think would did it?
Yeah, so we have a lot of different I guess suspects. I think still my number one suspect is the people introduced in episode one, the movie producers.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
we do know this movie is being speed one. I think the season is taking place like maybe early in the year, and they want this movie released by Christmas time, which is kind of impractical in Hollywood stands. It usually takes about 2 years, but regardless on that, so they want to get the movie released within a year. they're going to want to build as much hype around this movie, and they want to build a lot of intrigue about the movie. And what's the number one way to build intrigue over characters that, let's be real, he's a failed actor and a failed theater actor, and a nobody is killing one of them off.
Killing one of them off. That's a good pick. I like that. I also think it's something to do with the production company.
Hmm.
Um,
Could be the
not
writer.
could be. It could be. Um, and very similar thoughts as you. I just feel with the connection of Hollywood with Charles and Saz,
Hmm.
it feels more to do with that than one of the or multiple of the characters we actually get in episode two, and that's the people who live across the courtyard.
Yeah, on the west side, and that's something also to keep in note here. So we're New York is at the east side of the United States, and this whole season is west and east. There's so many parallels going on here. The west side is Hollywood. The east side is New York, and same thing with the apartment complex. You have the east side and the west side, the apartment. So
Yep,
I love the parallels, and I wonder if that's something intentional or is that just a misdirection.
that'd be pretty cool. I feel like they
Yeah.
put so much thought into these episodes and into these seasons that I don't think it's by coincidence.
No.
To clarify, I don't think it's any of them. Any of those guys, I don't think it's them.
So do you think we've been introduced to the killer?
Not yet. No.
Oh, okay, okay.
Maybe. Now, you know what? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, during the party, if we go back and rewatch, maybe
Episode
they're
one.
there somewhere.
Okay. I mean, another person I was thinking was Scott Bakula. He's the Hollywood actor who said that his stunt double is Saz, who never showed
Mhm.
up to his production. And I feel like as an actor, you want your stunt double there because you don't want any production delays and you want your movie out as fast as possible to get the revenue and to get the box office hits and all that. And we know Saz was too busy at the New York party for Charles's theater production.
Mhm.
So he could have some kind of he could be mad or irritated the fact that his production was potentially delayed because she was across the country. Could be. We were introduced to him briefly. He was only in for like one scene and had a conversation with Charles, who he seemed kind of suspect. Why was he at Charles's movie announcement premiere, like the announcement of the movie? He had no
Yep.
reason to be there, and he was looking for Saz apparently. So.
You know what actually also adds to your theory is how many people know who stunt double is who? Little to
Mm-hmm.
known. But the person who texted Charles was literally said, I'm back in Hollywood because I need to do a movie for X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
So it does add a lot of credibility to your theory, which I really like.
Yeah.
That is a very good pick.
It's just
Um,
I feel like it's just a random actor to bring in just for one scene, just to say, "Hey, this is Hollywood. Remember, there's going to be actors here." So I mean, I understand all the other actors, like Zach Galifianakis and all them, because they're portraying them in the movie. But like Scott Bakula just being in for one scene makes no sense unless he owes somebody in the production of the show.
yeah, it is really interesting.
Hmm.
And really, I think that's probably the only one. I know we get a lot of weird characters in episode two.
That is, yeah,
Like we get the super obsessed wife. So
yes, yes.
I could definitely see why people might think that, or the husband, or maybe one-eyed.
Maybe the daughter. The daughter seemed like she didn't like them at all. Well, the family wanted to put a show on for
Yeah,
I'm blanking on the names. I do apologize, but
yeah.
yeah,
But
she seemed like yeah,
the daughter behaved like any teenager would, uninterested, doesn't really care, distant.
yeah. That
So
is true. I mean, it's a lot of weird off people. I know you mentioned the one-eyed Vince Fish. What did you think about him?
such as I liked the total flip that they had because Charles goes and like identifies all of them as being super weird, And then you get this guy who's like just super friendly, got pink eye, and is overall coming off like a good dude.
So one thing,
Super weird though.
yeah. One thing I have a question for you. Do you know anything about when you were sniping? Because we do notice there's a sniper shot that killed Sass based on
Mhm.
the direction and based on the bullet that
Right.
went through the window. Do you know anything about like when you're sniping, or have you seen any like shooting competition on the Olympics that just happened?
So I've seen a few YouTube videos. Typically, professional snipers would peer with one and then open both for peripheral views.
Yes,
But the recoil could have actually injured his eye.
that's
That's a
what I'm thinking.
possibility
Yeah,
because he does have a super contagious pink eye. But then he goes and plays cards with a different family who don't seem to care if they get. None of them have pink eye. So
no.
if it's super contagious, why doesn't anyone else have it?
Mm-mm. So like I said, there's a
So
lot of
yeah,
great,
it definitely adds to your theory.
yeah, there's a lot of great theories that you could pick and choose based on the characters we've been introduced to. But I know one thing that they've played around with in episode two was the mysterious building. We know the blinds have never been opened. Charles has never seen anybody in that
Right.
apartment, and the apartment was dead bolted. They managed to get into the apartment by using the number 773440, and it was listed on Sass's
Oh,
notes as
for some
the.
reason I thought it was 8008S5. I mean,
No, but we know that that 773440 was the passcode to the Dunoff place, which is what Sass is written down, which is also spelled Oh Hell, which was the card game that they were
hmm
playing.
right.
What is your take on that mysterious apartment building, apartment room?
I'm not 100% certain on that. Um, what could be it is maybe someone cozied up to them. They invited them over for the Oh Hell game. Mabel mentions how addictive the game is. It could be a coincidence.
That Oh
Um,
Hell and 773440
mhm.
spells it. Yeah,
So yeah, I'm not
it's
100% sure. I think it's a like a red
a
herring.
red herring.
Yeah.
And then what was going on with all the hams? So we have three hams in this episode. We have the ham radio in the Dunoff place, a bathtub ham that the window of Oh Hell to take a slice out of, which was imported by in Portugal, was it?
Something like that.
Something like that. And then we have a piglet in the bathroom of the Dunoff place.
You
So we
know,
have
a little
three
piglet.
hams. Yeah, what is going on with the hams in the show?
Ah, man. There's
It made me
something to
hungry.
it.
There
There's
has to be
something
something.
to it. And that whole Portugal thing, we'll see if it comes
Plays
full
out.
circle.
Yeah. And then I know you mentioned Jan also escaped prison.
Mhm.
She could also be a suspect. I mean, Jan does have an
No,
out. You don't think so?
no. That's a 0% chance.
I mean,
She's
she
a
had multiple.
psychopath.
I mean, she did have multiple opportunities to kill him this episode.
Yeah. She's a
Yeah,
psychopath. Like, she wants it, like, up close and personal, right? So,
yeah,
nah.
and she was
It's
disgusted by the idea of a sniper
totally
shot.
off, yeah.
Yeah,
Agreed.
it was nice seeing her again. I kind of hope we see more of her this season
She
because
is a
she's
fun
such a fun
character.
character. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other suspect that you might think of? I know we mentioned so far Vince Fish. We mentioned potentially Alfonso and his family. We
hmm
mentioned potentially Scott Bakula or the movie producers. Anybody else that you might think of?
Hmm.
Remember, when does this movie come out? That's that's apparently being filmed right now.
I have no idea.
The movie poster said behind them said Christmas. And who's one character that we've yet to be introduced to, but we only seen a snippet of? Christmas guy.
Ah, yes,
I'm not.
Akulo Nanjiani plays the Christmas guy.
Yeah, a guy who loves working out, staring at the window while decorated in Christmas gear. Kind of a sociopath, if you ask me. But I'm not sure if what's going on with all these parallels. We have the ham parallel, we have the Christmas parallel, we have the oh hell number parallel, we have uh
I mean, typically
s-
people do have ham. during Christmas, turkey during Thanksgiving.
Hmm.
Maybe
You
that
think
could be something.
you think this could be something planning to, like, if Charles is the target, that they're planning to take Charles out by Christmas? Is that the goal? To play
I, I
upon the
don't know
Christmas
about
motif?
I don't know about that, but I'm just lending credence to your
Yeah.
movie
I'm just
produces
I'm just
Christmas.
saying, like, we have the whole West East, we have the Christmas, we have the sniper, we have so much different like parallels and different like things that you could look at and place fault at, which makes the show so damn interesting to watch. But like
Yeah.
right now, I'm still leaning on either Scott Bakula or the movie producers. Who's your number one suspect so far?
Yeah, it's someone in Hollywood. If I had to pick someone,
Hmm.
it it could be Scott Bakula. I'm not
Yeah.
sure on the motivations just yet.
I mean, my only, I guess, cause for the motivation could have just, well, yeah, I mean,
It's not a big enough motivation,
it's
not
not a
yet.
big enough motivation that she might have prolonged the shoot by
Yeah,
1 day or something. It's not that big, and she's been investigating this, and that's something that we know from season
yeah.
3. Is she had something important to tell Charles, but
Because there
never was
could be a
able.
reason she accepted that role.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna put this out here, and you can shoot me down immediately. But how about Howard?
Howard with a dog.
I mean, his first cat was killed by Charles Hayden in season 1, so he could have had this long vendetta about him. Remember? And then what did Charles do? Is put his foot inside his pocket.
Put his foot inside
You
the
remember,
pocket.
the cat was frozen because, and he
Yeah.
opened the freezer and the cat fell and he pocketed the foot and he
Yep,
didn't
yep,
say
yep.
nothing until the end of the season. He could have a 3 year long vendetta planning his potential murder of.
So, if it's Howard, I wouldn't understand the idea of bringing a dog that's specialized in blood and cadavers
Yeah,
to the apartment.
but it's his way of clearing his name. I bought a dog there. Everything seemed fine. I'm friendly with you guys. I don't want my name anywhere near this killing or this murder. I was at the party the whole time. Oh, and Saz, I saw her leave middle of the party. Like, I mean, I hope not because he's such a fun character. I love that guy, but I'm just throwing names
Yeah, I
out
don't
here.
think it's him. I don't think it's him.
No, no. So I think
Yeah.
I think we're kind of on the whole movie producer
Yeah,
already,
I'm gonna
Scott.
be excited
Yeah.
for next episode. Each episode has been such a banger, so
100%, yeah.
I'm
So I'm
psyched.
hoping we get more clues. I'm hoping we get introduced to the Christmas guy. I want to see more of him. I want to see what his actual character is. So yeah, and I want to see potentially more Scott Bakula. I hope we see like maybe him next episode, just like trinkling him in once in a while, just so he's relevant in our minds. But
Mhm.
outside of that, yeah, I think that's all I have to say just for the first 2 episodes. There's so much going on. There's so many suspects, and I'm hoping we get something or some more reveals soon.
True. Yep, and that's it for me as well.
Yeah.
So, like, subscribe.
Yeah. Let us know down below
Peace.
who's your number one suspect. Thanks.